Welcome back, guys. This is Pure Weaves here, and this is What If Naruto Stopped Smiling for the Pain, Part 1. We begin the story with Naruto actually being a 4-year-old here, and he's quite smart for a 4-year-old. And, anyways, one night, he was just trying to go home as he was actually spending his time in the library, as it was one of the only places that calmed his mind down, and he felt at peace because the books really couldn't hurt him and they could only benefit him, is what he always thought. Until one day he actually, well, of course they can only benefit him. But anyways, one day he was actually walking down the streets of Konoha and was heading home. His home isn't too far from the library, and of course, Naruto actually makes a home right in front of his door until he sees a mob of villagers. The villagers look behind them and they see that Naruto has finally arrived, and they smile to themselves as they say that the demon is here. It's time for, you know, what's gonna happen. Then Naruto starts running away, and of course, Naruto would be beaten to a pulp, and he's left in pretty much an alleyway, a dead end alleyway, bleeding out. And of course, he's losing consciousness, but then out of nowhere, his wounds actually start healing. And, anyways, now, once they do start healing, Naruto realizes that there's something inside of him, there's something like healing him for some reason. But, anyways, now, Naruto continues with his life and he reads about books. About many stories about the Hokage, about the history of Shinobi, and he one day he stumbles upon a book about tail beasts. Naruto reads about the nine-tailed beast, and he realizes that something. He's always been called demon, like it's described in this book, and his birthday was coincidentally on the same day or on the same night of the Naruto's attack. Or he was born on the same night of the Naruto's attack. He added 1 plus 1, and he assumed that he was the Naruto's Jinchuriki. Of course, he needed confirmation, and he decided to go to the only person that he could actually trust in the village right now, and that would be the fourth Hokage. The third Hokage. And Hiruzen, of course, welcomed the boy in, and Naruto was very happy to see his grandfather, pretty much. And then now, of course, Naruto asks the Hokage, and the Hokage was taken aback by this. He was trying to change the subject, but Naruto tells the Hokage that there's no point of hiding it anymore. He already knows. He's not that stupid, although he's only 4 years old. And the Hokage apologizes to Naruto, telling him that it's all true, and he didn't want to tell Naruto, as he didn't want to break Naruto's heart, as he's always told him that he's a good kid and everything. And Naruto understands that the Hokage was just trying to keep Naruto safe, and anyways now, and keep Naruto, well, at least allow Naruto to live a normal life as a normal child. And Naruto didn't hate the Hokage for it. In fact, he was grateful that the Hokage even thought about Naruto like that. And anyways, now he would then go off on his way. But although he was grateful for the Hokage for everything he's done, he was still heartbroken that the villagers would still do something like this to him. Although he's not really the Naruto, and he's only the Jinchuriki of it. Like, why would you just not leave him alone? You don't have to interact with him. As long as you don't interact with him, he won't really do anything to you. Or Naruto wouldn't really even talk to you, as he's quite scared of them. He's quite shy. And anyways, now, of course, he never really understood. But on the way, of course, he sees another mob of villagers, and they start chasing him. But this time, Naruto wasn't going to allow them to do or get their way with whatever they were trying to do. Of course, they call him a demon and tell him to come back, and Naruto says that he's not a demon, and so isn't the Nine Tails, as Naruto didn't know why he said that, but he just decided to, and the villagers got quite angry as they thought that the Naruto's has already taken over and trying to brainwash Naruto. Anyways, now Naruto escapes and he's now in a forest. And anyways, the Naruto's inside. He was quite surprised when Naruto said that he's not a demon, and of course, the Naruto's could feel Naruto's emotions and if he's lying or not. And clearly, Naruto wasn't. That came out of Naruto naturally. It was a natural thing that Naruto said. It wasn't on the spur of the moment. It was just something that he said naturally. And anyways, now the Naruto was going to see Naruto's growth, and he would want to actually he was actually quite intrigued and he wanted to see how Naruto would turn out in the future. And so he kept, he was at bay for now. And, anyways, now, of course, Naruto made a life changing decision to actually start training. Anyway, of course, Naruto would spend the next 8 years training, and he would ask the Hokage for help. He would ask the Hokage if he can borrow some jutsus, not borrow some scrolls with jutsus. He'll give them back after he learns them. The Hokage was more than happy enough to give them to Naruto, as he could see Naruto's growth. He was already getting stronger physically. He could see that Naruto is quite strong, and he's quite built already. For a child, he's very strong. And anyways, now Naruto would resemble Minato a lot more here, as he has a bit of a he would. You know what? Let me not change Naruto's appearance. But anyways, Naruto would resemble Minato because of his hard-working attitude and his fast growth. And anyways, now Naruto would easily learn the Shadow Clone Jutsu because of the immense amount of chakra that he has, and he's here able to use it much better, as he did the chakra training exercises that the Hokage actually gave him, and told him that if he does these, he's going to become a great shinobi in the future, and it will be much easier for him to learn other jutsus. Naruto does them, and he masters them within 2-3 weeks, and pretty much at the age of 10, Naruto can do the Shadow Clone Jutsu, the Fireball Jutsu, the Water Dragon Jutsu, yes, the Water Dragon Jutsu, as the Hokage actually gave him that. The Wind Dragon Jutsu, which literally is a technique that Naruto created after finding out about his wind release. And also, Naruto knows a lot of different techniques. For example, the Wind Clone, which is literally a Shadow Clone made out of wind, and once he is defeated, he turns into wind blades which cut the enemy and pretty much injure them. And also he created a new substitution, and his substitution would still be with crows, as he quite liked them. Crows usually don't really go near people except for unless you're Itachi or someone, but Naruto actually, whenever he was around crows would actually come towards him and Naruto would pet them. Naruto sees a flock of crows flying around one day in the forest, and he was quite intrigued by them. He was like, whoa, they look cool. And he was distracted by them while he was training. Anyway, while he was training, and of course he thought to himself, that's actually a really good distraction. Naruto is now 10. The Uchiha massacre has already happened, and everything wouldn't play out the same in the original. And anyways, now, of course, we have a 2-year time skip again, and Naruto gets quite strong, and the graduation examination, you see that rhyme, would still come about. And anyways, now, Naruto would be graduating today after passing the exam. Of course, he actually, doesn't know the clone jutsu, which Iruka asked for, and Naruto was like, can I do a different jutsu? And Iruka didn't actually know what Naruto was talking about, as Naruto didn't mention it, but he said, no, you cannot do a different jutsu, Naruto. Naruto had to do the clone jutsu, which he failed, and so he would in turn fail the graduation test, and Naruto was confused on why he wasn't able to do a different jutsu, but he understood that he just needs to somehow learn the clone jutsu. Of course, he was still sitting at his bench, as he was pretty depressed that he didn't pass his exam, and people were talking about him behind his back or right in front of him, in front of the academy gates, as they were waiting for their children to come out and congratulate them. Of course, Naruto just looks at them sad as he's like, "It's not my fault I didn't pass. What did I ever do? It's not my fault I have so much chakra inside of me." And of course, Mizuki would actually come next to Naruto and take him away onto a rooftop. And he would talk to Naruto kindly. He would tell Naruto that there is another way of, becoming a ninja or a genin. And that way is to steal the scroll of sealing, which Naruto actually believed in. He was quite gullible, as he trusted people who were kind to him. And Mizuki was, you know, smart enough to actually, get onto Naruto's good side, and so Naruto believed in Mizuki. Of course, he still stole the scroll of sealing, and every Jonin and every Chunin was alerted, and they were searching for Naruto. Iruka would actually not find Naruto in this scenario, well, not in time. And anywho, of course, once Mizuki arrives, Mizuki tries to attack Naruto, which Naruto dodges swiftly, realizing that that could hurt. And he's quite strong. Naruto is, I'd say, Chunin level. Anyways, Naruto was just smiling, and he was like, Mizuki Sensei, I'm sorry, did I look a bit different? Did you think I was an animal or something? So I don't understand why you attacked me. Of course, Mizuki says, "Well, I attacked you so I could get rid of you." Naruto was taken aback, and he was like, "But why? I didn't do anything to you." And of course, Mizuki then laughs, saying that he didn't do anything to him, yes, but he has to get rid of him as he is in his way now, and he did what he was meant to, just be a pawn in his plan. And anyways, Mizuki tries to attack Naruto once again, but Naruto dodges this time, and this time he realizes that he needs to get into a fight. Of course, Mizuki then actually taunts Naruto about him being the Naruto's Jinchuriki, no one loving him, everyone hating him, and Naruto just told him to shut up every single time. And anyways, of course, Mizuki would then go on to tell Naruto that even Iruka hates him as the Naruto's actually killed his parents, and ever since he started teaching Naruto's class, he's always hesitated whenever teaching, because he actually hates you or hates Naruto. Of course, Naruto could understand why he thought, Iruka hated him, but Iruka always seemed like a nice guy, and now he seems like he's just a villain. And anyways, of course, Naruto says no, it's not true, and Mizuki then goes on to tell Naruto that Iruka's actually searching for him right now, just like every other Jonin and Chunin and all the other shinobi in the village are, and they are ready to kill you. And of course, Naruto at this point, he's taken aback, and he kind of believes Mizuki's words, and so as he was about to attack as Mizuki was about to attack Naruto, of course, Iruka comes in and kicks Mizuki away, and Iruka tells Naruto that there's no point of tells Naruto to give him the scroll, otherwise he'll be in danger, and of course he'll be pursued by Mizuki. Naruto doesn't give the scroll as he still believes in Mizuki's words, and he tells Iruka that he doesn't need to act anymore. He can hate him as much as he wants. He doesn't care anymore. Of course, Iruka was taken aback as he's never seen Naruto act like this, and he shouts at Naruto and tells him, "Naruto, this is dangerous. Just give me the scroll and run away." Of course, Naruto says no, and he runs away on his own with the scroll, and Mizuki follows along. And Naruto's kind of blinded by his insecurities, as he's always been insecure about people who actually like him. Do they really like him or not? Are they just faking it? And he thinks that Iruka is faking it now because of Mizuki. And Naruto, of course, has had enough, and he wasn't actually going to run away. He was going towards the gates of the village, and he already left the scroll, which Mizuki actually didn't notice, and he was still following Naruto. And of course, Iruka noticed the scroll, and he was searching for Naruto in the vicinity where the scroll was found. Of course, he wasn't actually following Mizuki anymore, and he was searching for Naruto as he thought that Naruto was hiding. And anyways, the Hokage would actually be searching for Naruto at this point as well, and Naruto would be spotted by Mizuki trying to leave. Of course, once he actually went out of the village gates, Naruto then actually stopped and looked at Mizuki, and he said, "Well, this is the end of the road for you, Mizuki Sensei. I don't think I should let you live anymore. As clearly you've seen me leave the village. I don't want you to be in my way anymore." Of course, Mizuki tries to attack Naruto, but Naruto actually stabs him in the neck and pretty much runs away after this. And Mizuki is dead here. Yes, Naruto kills him instantly. Mizuki really stood no chance from the beginning, and anyways, now. Of course, Iruka didn't find Naruto, and it's already dawn now, and the Hokage was confused on what happened, and of course, the army would search outside the village and they would find Mizuki's body. The kunai impaled in Mizuki's neck would be searched, and of course, some sensory ninjas sensed Naruto's chakra on it, and of course, the Hokage would realize that Naruto left, and he would, of course, ask Iruka what happened, and Iruka tells him that Mizuki told Naruto that, told Naruto a lie, telling him that, well, Iruka hates him when it's all a lie. Iruka never really hated him, and in fact, Naruto was like one of his favorite students. Of course, now Naruto's way too far gone. Naruto's too fast, and by now he would have been near the outskirts of the land of fire, and Naruto had enough. He had enough of trusting people. He doesn't want to trust anyone else anymore. He's given up. He's given up on trusting anyone, and he doesn't hate the village. Of course, he understands why they were scared of him, but he doesn't want to trust people in his life anymore. Anywho, now, oh, sorry about that. Of course, Naruto would then run, run, and he would keep running, and no one could catch up to him, as Naruto was way too fast at this point, and he got a little bit of a rage boost, and a little bit of chakra from the Ninetales. The Hokage would be sad that Naruto has left, as Naruto, he was like a little grandson to him. He was like a bit like Konohamaru to him, but from, of course, Naruto was heartbroken, and he clearly didn't understand what was happening, and he couldn't really blame Naruto for not understanding. He was just a child, and now he's gone. And of course, Mizuki's dead too, so they couldn't even interrogate him on why he would steal the scroll. Is he working for some other village or what? And anyways, they were left in the dark. And anyways, now, of course, Naruto, well, the Jiraiya would be informed about this, and Jiraiya would actually search for Naruto. And anywho, now, Naruto, although knowing that he was the Naruto's Jinchuriki, he wasn't hurt by the people hating that. But all the things that the people did to him, every time he forgave them, he regretted all of it. He realized that whenever he tries, even if he forgives them, people just keep hating on him when he really did nothing wrong to them. Like, it wasn't really Naruto's fault that the Naruto's attack on that night, and people died. Did he really do it? He wasn't the one. He clearly wasn't the one to actually attack their loved ones. But of course, Naruto didn't hate them, but he did, well, lose trust in people. Naruto would be traveling the land of fire. Oh, well, sorry, the lands, and now Naruto was already 12, so Team 7 would actually have, well, would be handicapped here, and they would have one less member in their team, as the teams were already made, and Naruto was going to be in there because the Hokage thought that Naruto would pass, and of course he hears that on that night. Of course, he would hear that Naruto didn't pass, and he would ask Iruka why, and Iruka said that Naruto couldn't do the clone jutsu. Then he said that, well, the Hokage replied by saying Naruto knows the shadow clone jutsu though, and Iruka didn't know about that, and he actually realized that that's what Naruto must have been talking about. Naruto didn't want to do the clone jutsu because he can't do it, and he wanted to do the shadow clone jutsu. He realizes his mistakes, and he tells the Hokage, and the Hokage really couldn't do anything about it now, and he says there's no point of, well, grieving over that now, I've already sent many Anbu outside the land of waves to search for Naruto, and even the root are searching for Naruto. Naruto would be in hiding, and he would be training as well. Of course, he doesn't have the means to train with scrolls or other people, so he's just training on his own in a forest one night, and of course, he would be found by someone. Someone sees Naruto train, and this was around I would say, the land of wind near the sand village, and of course, someone would come out of shadows with a black cloak, long hair, a black cloak, a mask, and two red eyes glowing through the two holes of the mask. This character I haven't used in a while, but anyways. She then approaches Naruto, and Naruto falls to the ground, and she actually helps Naruto up. Of course, this is Tsukome, uh, and she would be Madara's granddaughter, as he had a granddaughter, and she was born. Her parents were killed, but of course, Madara would have taken her in, and Obito would be training her now. She asks Naruto what he's doing here, as she knows who Naruto is, and she asks what he's doing here, and clearly he doesn't seem like someone from the area. Naruto says that he actually escaped his village or left it as he didn't want to be in there anymore, and of course Tsukome sits down on a rock next to Naruto and asks him about it. Naruto doesn't want to talk about it, and Tsukome asks why. She's here to listen to him. She can give him emotional support. Naruto says that he can't trust her. He can't trust anyone anymore. After all the things that have happened to him, he doesn't want to trust anyone. He's just going to live his life alone, and pretty much that's it. Tsukome then asks him, does he not have any dreams? Naruto then says that he wanted to once be Hokage and change the view on tail beasts and war and everything else going on in the shinobi world. But now there's no point, he doesn't want to do that anymore. He's given up. There's no need for him to do that, as people never really liked him, and he has no, well, he doesn't see a need for him to be trusted by the people of the Leaf or anyone anymore. He just wants to train hard, be someone who can protect himself from enemies in case they want to attack him or kill him, and just live his life peacefully alone. Of course, Tsukome says, well, that's quite weak, isn't it? And Naruto says, although it's weak, he doesn't care. It's what he's chosen. And Tsukome actually slaps him, saying that he shouldn't give up. He shouldn't give up on a dream of his. That's just stupid, as something like this is what he will be facing anyways if he really wanted to become Hokage or anything like that. Of course, Naruto says, you don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be left by, treated as an outsider, having no family, nothing. And as he says that, of course, Tsukome says, I never had parents either. Naruto was taken aback by this, and he apologizes to Tsukome, and she just said it's fine. He didn't know about it. She doesn't blame him. How's he meant to know? Of course, then she goes on to tell Naruto that he's quite weak, and Naruto says, I know I am. I haven't been training for too long, and plus I never really had a teacher. And Tsukome was she told Naruto that she could teach him. Of course, she knows that she's going to have to capture Naruto one of these days, but anyways, now. Of course, Tsukome and Naruto would begin training, and of course, they would train together for a while. Tsukome would actually travel the world right now, as Obito just didn't really care for her right now, and she would have to be back by the age of 16. That's what they agreed on. And anyways, she would have to help out in the Akatsuki matters, as that was what her grandfather wanted, and she will do it. She will do it, and anywho, now she did say she would, and now, of course, she meets Naruto, and they would train together for the next month or so. During this month, Team 7 would still be created, and everything in the village would happen as per normal. Of course, Sasuke would notice Naruto's absence, and he actually saw Naruto training with clones one day, back in the days, like a year ago, and he asked Kakashi what happened to Naruto, Did you not pass or anything? He should have passed. He saw Naruto train with clones, and Kakashi knew about it as well. And he tells Sasuke that Naruto is no longer part of the village anymore. He's left it, and there's no point of talking about him right now until he's found and returned. Sasuke then asks why did he leave, as he was actually quite pissed off that Naruto left. He didn't want him to leave. He secretly actually admired him, and of course Kakashi then says that, well, I don't really blame him for leaving. I would have left too if I was in his shoes. I guess he's just had enough with all the villagers hating him, although he did nothing wrong. To be honest, maybe I should have been there for him, just like the Fufus were there for me. And of course, Sasuke was quite saddened, and of course, a tear ran through his cheek, and he was like, maybe I should have been his friend when he needed one. And of course, Sakura then actually says, oh, that loser again. He failed the test, and that's what I heard. He deserved it, to be honest. He was quite stupid. Of course, Sasuke glares at her, telling her that he wasn't. He was much stronger than her, much smarter in every way possible, and he's seen him train. He's very, very strong, and he would beat her in a fight any day. And Sakura tells Sasuke that that's impossible. He didn't even pass the test for the Genin or final examination in the academy. Of course, Sasuke then says it must have been a mistake or a misunderstanding. There's no way someone like him who would have failed. He's way too strong. And of course, Sasuke actually does believe that Naruto is very strong, and he believes that Naruto would not fail like that. And Naruto seemed like the type of guy to, try hard. And anyways, now during this 1 month, Naruto and Tsukume would actually get quite close, as the two actually never really met anyone like each other, and their personalities really fit with each other. They became quite good friends instantly. Naruto was quite strong. Tsukume was quite taken aback, as Naruto had all 5 chakra natures, and she only had 4. She was actually missing Earth release, and she was quite surprised that Naruto was so strong, and he still somehow failed the test. Of course, Tsukume would ask Naruto how did he fail, and Naruto would explain that he wasn't allowed to do a jutsu that he actually knew, the shadow clone jutsu, because he can't do the clone jutsu as he's too strong. And of course, Naruto hasn't told her that, he's the Naruto's Jinchuriki yet, because he's scared that she will get scared and, run away from him. But anyways, one day, Naruto and Tsukume were actually under a tree as it was raining, and it was nighttime. They couldn't sleep outside. They were actually searching for a cave, but they couldn't find it. And anyways, Naruto would tell her that he's actually the Naruto's Jinchuriki, and if she's scared, she can leave, and it's fine. He expected anyways. And Tsukume would tell him that she's not scared of him. Why would she be? Although he's the Naruto's Jinchuriki, doesn't mean he's actually the Naruto's who says he is. And Naruto, started crying pretty much. Tsukume was taken aback on why Naruto would cry, and of course Naruto would explain that's the first time someone's ever said that to him, and he feels like someone actually does truly actually love him. He's feeling loved. And Tsukume blushes a bit because she's not actually trying to show love and affection to Naruto. She's just trying to train Naruto, as she sees that Naruto has potential just like her and could actually become a really good or a really strong person, and someone that would push her in the future to become even stronger. And she knows that one day she'll have to capture him, or that Akatsuki will capture him. That's what she believes. Anyways, now of course Jiraiya would be searching for Naruto during this time, and he wouldn't find him. His spy network would be doing both things now. He would be searching for Naruto and Orochimaru at the same time. Anywho, now, of course, now the Team 7 would know Naruto would still get the Land of Waves mission, as Sasuke was getting quite strong, as in he was already Chunin level according to Kakashi, and of course Jiraiya would send letters to the Hokage telling him that he still hasn't found Naruto and he's still searching for him personally as well. He's not. He is no longer searching for Orochimaru. Spy Network is doing most of the Orochimaru work, whereas him personally is searching for his own godson. Naruto will never be found because Tsukume would always be there to protect him. And anywho, now, of course, Naruto. Anywho, now, of course, Sasuke would be quite strong as he trained with Kakashi as well, as Kakashi doesn't really need to worry about anyone else except for Sasuke, as Sakura just really doesn't train much at all. And anywho, now, Naruto would have trained hard, and Tsukume would have actually, well, started developing some feelings towards Naruto, but still she keeps it to herself as she thinks it's just, well, it's just she doesn't know what it is, to be honest. And you know, of course, Team Seven would go to the Land of Waves, and so would Naruto and Tsukume. Tsukume would have a good heart. She would be a very kind person, and she would actually hear about well, the Land of Waves being actually, or well, Tazuno's town being poor because of some guy called Gato. And during this time, Tsukome has been well thinking of going there herself and taking care of this. And then here now, Naruto would go along, and Naruto would actually quite like Tsukome, literally because he has crush first of all, but of course because she's like his teacher and everything. And anywho, Tsukumo would teach Naruto the Majestic Destroyer Flame as Naruto would easily learn it, and clearly she realizes that Naruto is going to catch up to her one of these days as his potential is much higher than hers. She's a bit jealous, but she understands that she just needs to train harder. And anywho, the two would train together every single day, and Naruto is getting just stronger and stronger. He's getting quite extremely strong, in fact. And anywho, now Tsukome and Naruto would be close to Jonin rank. Yes, Naruto's nearly Jonin rank. Yes, you heard that right. And then here now, of course, Tsukome is way over Jonin rank. She has the Mongekyo, and yeah, so she is a whole different case. And then here now, of course, Naruto and Tsukome would arrive at the Land of Waves and pretty much see what was going on. And while they were actually searching for Gato, which they were searching for his hideout, Team 7 would go up against the Demon Force and Zabuza for the first time. And anywho, Naruto and Tsukome wouldn't really have the money right now. Well, Tsukome does have the money, but she doesn't really want to stay in a hotel. She wanted to train with Naruto for that night, and they actually want to train in a forest. In this forest, they would actually meet, well, they would meet Zabuza and well, not Zabuza but Haku, and Naruto would befriend Haku. Tsukumi would get quite jealous because at first she thought Haku was a girl, but then Haku reveals that he's a guy, seeing that Tsukumi was actually giving him that death stare, and he's like, "Just for your information, I'm actually a guy." And Naruto's like, "Oh, goddamn, well then, okay." Anyways, of course, Tsukumi was quite relieved as she knows that Naruto actually is interested in women. But anyways, now of course Naruto and Tsukumo would train a bit more and actually talk to Haku. Haku would tell them how his life's been, and here Haku doesn't have to hide who he is, as they're not really his enemies. And Naruto tells him that Naruto probably has would have had a similar life if it wasn't for Tsukome here, as she pretty much saved him, and now he's training under her, and he can understand why he does everything for Zabuza. And now, of course, Naruto and Haku become quite good friends, and Tsukome has a plan to make Naruto happy, and also Haku, as she kind of feels sad for him. She tells him that to take them to Zabuza, and she actually tells Zabuza to join them, and well, because she actually was already planning against Akatsuki because she didn't really like her grandfather's plans. Of course, as she grew up, she actually realized how screwed this well, world peace plan is, and everything, and she didn't like it. And anywho, now, of course, she'll tell them about her dream, as it's quite similar to Naruto's. Naruto does realize, and anywho, her mind was fully changed after meeting Naruto, as clearly Naruto was an influence to her. And anywho, now, of course, Zabuza wouldn't accept that first until the Tsukomi said, "Well, if we prove that we're stronger than you, and then you'll have to join us." And Zabuza scoffs and says, "Even when I'm injured, I can defeat you guys." Naruto would, actually question this to question, you know, Tsukomi, and Tsukomi would tell Zabuza that he'll be fighting Naruto, and Naruto's like, "Why me? I didn't want to fight. Like, what's going on? Why me? No, no, no. You're the one who started this. You should be fighting. You're stronger than me anyway." Of course, Tsukomi just says, "You're going to listen as I teach you. This will be your test to see if you've really grown any stronger." Naruto would then look Zabuza in the eyes, and Zabuza would tell him that if he fails to put up a good fight, he will kill him on the spot. And Naruto gulps, as he's quite, he doesn't really trust himself right now in beating Zabuza, but anyways, he doesn't want to, let down, Tsukomi, and so he is going to do his best. And then Naruto and Zabuza begin fighting, and clearly Naruto has the upper hand from the very beginning, but that's mostly because Zabuza's injured. But Zabuza did say that he could beat them even when he's injured, and that was kind of a stupid move. But anyways, once Naruto started getting the upper hand, fully, Zabuza was completely losing, and Tsukume just told Naruto to kill him, and Naruto would actually stop in his tracks and he'd say, "I can't kill him. There's no way I can." And Tsukume is happy that Naruto wouldn't kill him, or wouldn't just listen to her like that. And she says, "Very good. So you're not stupid enough to listen to everything I say like a dog." Anyways, so now Zabuza, do you understand? Will you join us? And of course Zabuza now has to say yes, as he got humiliated pretty much, but he was quite happy to see that, there is something to strive for, and there are people even stronger than him, and clearly these guys are kids. And anyway, now Naruto, Zabuza, and Haku would join forces, and of course they wouldn't actually go after Team 7 anymore. Zabuza has given up. He doesn't really care. He knows that Kakashi is stronger, and now he has a goal in life. He wants to, help these guys out with their own lives, as clearly he's already lived not most of his life, but a lot of his life, and he wants to see these kids grow, and he's going to train them as well in things that they don't know yet. And of course he wants to bring peace to the world now because of Tsuki and Naruto, Tsukomi and Naruto. And then now Naruto would then actually see Kakashi again, and he knows who Kakashi is. In fact, Kakashi was one of the people that actually Naruto didn't mind, and people actually, one of the people that actually kind of cared for Naruto. But anyways, now, of course, once Gato actually appears, Team 7 was getting ready for battle, as there were a lot of people. And just saying, Inari and his mother would still be attacked, but here Kakashi would have a hunch that something bad's about to happen, and so he left the clone behind. And anywho, now the clone would take care of Gato's men, and anywho, of course, Team 7 would fight Gato's men now here, and Tsukome and the new organization made by Tsukome would intervene. And here the organization wouldn't really have a name, but is what it is, as I don't really have a name. And you guys could put a name in the description below, but the parts would probably be already recorded by the time this comes out. And anyway, now, of course, they would all be wearing masks, just like Tsukome and Naruto. Zabuza wouldn't seem, except for Haku, because Haku always had a mask. And anyway, now, of course, Zabuza wouldn't, as he didn't care if people knew that he was in it or not, and he would kill Gato, as Gato says that he wanted to kill him anyways, and clearly he ran away. That's what happened. That's what he was telling Team 7 before these law came in, and he was quite scared now. And anyway, Gato was taken care of, and Kakashi recognizes Naruto. He's like, "Naruto, is that you?" And of course Naruto looks back, and then they all disappear. Of course, Team 7 is taken aback as they realize that they just seen Naruto and they couldn't really bring him back. Sasuke was pissed off at himself as he couldn't really recognize Naruto and now he's gone. And Sasuke here would actually kind of want to bring back Naruto, and that's why his little brother revenge thing, of course, is going to. Of course, he's going to prioritize that first, but he will return to the Leaf Village. He's not going to betray them. He will. He wants to return to them one day just to bring back Naruto, as he kind of wants to be Naruto's friend for real this time, and help him out. As clearly Naruto had it just as rough as him, just as a rough life as him, or even a rough, just as a rough life as him. And anyways, that's where I'm gonna end off. Naruto does escape, of course, and this was the King of Weaves. My ducklings, they're dismissed, and peace.